empowering the next generation of people that it really gets me excited. Now, to share another little story with you guys, just to give you that global piece. So for us who came together from Canada, when we landed in Kenya, and I'm gonna shout out one of the creators here, Tommy, I'm not sure where he is, but a little boy who was probably around like age 10, 11, got really excited. You know why? Because he was meeting his hero in person. He was meeting someone who he feels that he has known for such a long time, that he was smiling, he asked for a picture. And this is at the airport, right? So he's making content in Canada, but this content is going global. So whether you're making content, in our case, on finance and money, or you're making content on music, you're making content on gaming, you are having one of the biggest influences on the next generation of people. And I think that's a very beautiful thing. And I just want to put our hands together and really like give a shout out to all the creators that are here. I am so happy and I'm so honored to be here meeting His Excellency, and I'm also very happy to meet all of you, and yeah, I'm excited. Thank you.
Thank you, Den. Your Excellency, a question maybe they have not answered and maybe they will by the time we finish. With 5.9 million followers on Twitter, he qualifies to be a content creator as well, I guess. So maybe he can be your influencer, who knows. But next, Your Excellency, allow me to now invite Country Director for Kenya and Eastern Africa, Madam Agnes Githaiya, to come and make her remarks. Welcome. Let's welcome her with a clap.
Good afternoon, everybody. Your Excellency the President, Dr. William Ruto, Your Excellency the Governor of Nairobi, Johnson Sakaja, senior members of Your Excellency's administration, creators, our partners, and all invited guests. My name is Agnes Githaiya, and I work for Google. I work for Google in Kenya and in East Africa as a country director. The first thing I want to say is I am so proud that we got to host this class of the YouTube Black Founders Fund. I am so proud that after a real rumble of a fight, Nairobi was chosen over London, over Paris, over many other countries. So karibuni creators to showcase their talent, gain exposure, and most importantly, monetize by providing a platform where everyone with a smartphone or camera and an internet connection can share their creativity. YouTube has unlocked opportunities for aspiring artists, musicians, and there's an amorphous group called content creators. But those content creators, if you can think it and film it, you can be a YouTuber. Around 500 hours of video are uploaded on YouTube every minute, every single minute. And over 1 billion hours of video are watched on YouTube every day. I would hazard to ask, are you there to be seen? Will those eyes find you if they're looking? And that is a question we need to ask every single young person in Kenya today. 70% of YouTube videos are watched on mobile devices, and with 475 million people in sub-Saharan Africa projected to have access to the internet by 2025, YouTube provides great opportunities for our creators to connect and reach a growing market of African and global consumers right where they are, as we have just been reminded. As you create content, you don't create content for your little village. As long as you put it in, the world can watch it, and who knows who's interested in what it is you're doing. Your Excellency, We make available all these platforms while ensuring safety and responsibility for everyone. Over the years, we have made investments to make YouTube a safer place for our users and especially families. We enforce our community guidelines in dealing with illegal, misleading, harmful, and inappropriate content. We also train creators, parents, teachers, and students on online safety. At this point, I would like to acknowledge the work that is being done by the Kenya Film Classification Board that keeps us ruthlessly honest, as well as Professor Kimani Njogu of Toeza Communications, and all the counsel that we receive from Mr. Alex Gakuru from the Center for Law and IT. We thank this team for always guiding us and being ahead of the curve to ensure that we are walking on the right side. Beyond our online platforms, I'd like to highlight some of our programs that foster innovation, entrepreneurship, and digital skills development. The YouTube Black Voices Fund, which my colleague Alex Okosi, our Managing Director for YouTube in EMEA region, will talk about, is one such program. We also continue to work with entrepreneurs and technology workforce throughout Kenya through what we call our Grow with Google. Thank you for hosting our first cohort of small and medium enterprises under the Hustle Academy at Jamhuri Day celebrations. 76% of our graduates have said that the Academy has improved their business outcomes in measurable ways. Your Excellency, we are ready to onboard the next 1,500 businesses in Kenya into the Academy, and we look forward to even better results. In partnership with Kenya ICT Authority, last week we announced the launch of this year's Google Career Certificate Scholarships. These are designed to provide job-ready skills in high-growth career fields, including digital marketing and e-commerce, data analytics, UX design, and for the first time, cybersecurity. Like previous years, these 1,500 scholarships will be channeled through your Presidential Digital Talent Program. Your Excellency, we continue to support your plans in growing the digital superhighway and the creative economy. Your plan to provide 25,000 free Wi-Fi hotspots across Kenya will help bring affordable internet to entrepreneurs, including content creators, many of whom struggle with the high cost of internet connectivity. This will then allow many of our platforms to scale. 2 weeks ago, we concluded and handed over the $5 million Google-funded project administered by the Ministry of ICT, where we provide connectivity for 90 government institutions. I think the last time we spoke, Your Excellency, it was a work in progress. We are now finished. And we hope that these better serve the people of Kenya as they go to get vital services from hospitals, law courts, and gain education through TVETs. Finally, regarding the proposed 15% withholding tax on the revenue of digital content creators, on behalf of the creators, we urge meaningful dialogue between the industry and parliamentarians to review the proposal and protect this very nascent industry, maybe until a point when it reaches some point of maturity. In conclusion, Your Excellency, together we will continue with our commitment to grow Kenyan creators. We are honored to be part of this journey with you and are excited about what lies ahead for our people and for our country. Thank you for your continued support, and many thanks to your CS Eliud Owalo, your PS Tanui, and Mr. Dennis Itumbi for their continued collaboration. As a team, we continue to chip away at your list of requests that we got in October last year, and we are ever grateful for our partnership. Asante sana.
Thank you, Madam Gadaya. Next, Your Excellency, I'd like to call upon Alex Okosi, who's the Managing Director, Emerging Markets, YouTube EMEA. Welcome, sir.
Wow, what a beautiful room. I actually hadn't seen it. Your Excellency, President Dr. William Ruto, senior members of Your Excellency's administration, creators, our partners, and of course, invited guests. It is an honor and a pleasure for me to be here on behalf of myself, Google, and YouTube, to be hosted yet once again by His Excellency. After you gave us the honor of the most memorable state visit last year, this second visit really fills me with great gratitude and a sense of appreciation for Your Excellency's commitment and kind hospitality, and your commitment to working with us to continue to be able to help Kenyan creators grow. Over 3 years ago, we launched our YouTube Black Voices Fund to amplify the Black perspectives and also experiences that directly support Black creators, artists, songwriters, and producers, so they can really have the resources they need to be able to thrive and succeed on YouTube. Our support included, as mentioned earlier, great partner support management, seed funding to help our creators grow their channels, and tailor-made training, workshops, and networking sessions to be able to, again, enable their growth. Over these years, the Black Voices Fund has supported over 500 artists and creators, a lot of which are in this room and are also from Kenya. Your Excellency, YouTube is privileged to be part of Kenya's rich and diverse creative culture. You have a vibrant music scene here in Kenya, which we know. You have a thriving film industry in Kenya, and a growing number of talented artists and creators, that some of which are in this room, of course. Increasingly, however, these creators recognize YouTube as really a platform that empowers them, which we're very proud of. Giving them the voice to their unique perspectives and offering them a gateway to share their work with the world and also earn a living, which, as you guys can understand, is very important. In Kenya, for instance, just so we make note of that, the number of YouTube channels making over 100,000 shillings went up by 25% year on year. And the number of Kenyan channels with over 1 million subscribers has also grown by 110%, which again is phenomenal. When we combine Kenya's flourishing creative sector and the government's commitment to the digital superhighway and the creative economy, we feel overwhelming sense of belonging and alignment and choosing Kenya, as Agnes mentioned, to stage the ceremony. It wasn't that big of a fight. Kenya was definitely the right place to come. She made it real dramatic. So we have before you today, or here behind you, Your Excellency, 109 YouTube creators, 21 from the US, 30 from the UK. We had our Kenyan Canadian that came up earlier, 12 from Canada, 18 from South Africa, 17 from Nigeria, and 11 from Kenya. And over the next 3 days, they will be connecting, and they've started doing that already, celebrating and, of course, experiencing Kenya's culture, your heritage, and your hospitality. The opportunity to be hosted by Your Excellency, of course, is a highlight for me. I hope for all of you. We must all acknowledge that. This is really special. These creators, of course, range from vloggers to educators to financial literacy advisors, makeup artists, news producers, chefs, agriculturalists, designers, amongst many others. But the real truth is that last year, Your Excellency did challenge us to do more in supporting the growth of Kenya's creative economy, more particularly in building a pipeline for Kenyans who are growing themselves, their enterprise, and communities as creators and entrepreneurs. And I'm pleased to inform you that we're committed to grant funding through our google.org to support training of Kenyans across all 47 counties in the country. These trainings will equip them with technical and entrepreneurial skills necessary to enable them to thrive as creative professionals. Through the leadership of our Google team locally, which of course we've heard from Agnes and Michael and Charles and Dorothy and everyone that's in the room that works really hard in our Google team. We'll be working in collaboration with the government's Nigeria program as well as the Talanta Hela program for nurturing creative talent in order to bring these trainings to many people across Kenya. I'm confident that this initiative will bring positive economic outcomes for the trainees and their communities across Kenya. I would love to close by thanking again Your Excellency for hosting us and by helping us to restate our commitment to working with you to really help to be able to nurture and grow Kenya's creative industry. Thank you very much.
Next, Your Excellency, I would like to call upon the ICT Principal Secretary, John Tenui, to come and make his remarks. Welcome, sir. Can give him a clap as he's coming. Very good.
Your Excellency, President William Samoei Ruto, our Governor, Nairobi County, our CS for Environment and Climate Change, CS Soipan, my colleague PS Ismail, and our great friends from Kukul, Alex, Agnes, Charles, and Michael. Your Excellency, this is a great moment for our youth, our creative sector, and personally, I'm so impressed with the great stories coming out of here. Kukul has really worked hard to help us to build our creative sector. Your Excellency, we're working with them to ensure that the infrastructure we are putting in place comes into use. The infrastructure beginning with the digital superhighway and the 1,450 digital hubs. Kukul will be our partner to ensure that we create a group of SMEs with digital skills and capabilities to enable growth of new SMEs in the digital space. Your Excellency, on the Wi-Fi's, we are going to ensure that the business people who will be running the digital SMEs with the skills they have gained from the digital hubs will support now the users of free public Wi-Fi's. That will deploy in the markets, will deploy in public road stages, and also in our post offices to ensure now they are able to run their e-commerce businesses. They'll have people with skills to enable them to quickly ensure that the physical stores that they are currently running can actually become global businesses running on the platforms that Kukul will provide. And yesterday, Your Excellency, we had meetings with the COG, as you directed us, and the county governments will work with us to ensure that the businesses that use physical stores will be quickly moved to digital space using the digital platforms. Your Excellency, in support of also the creatives through the Concert Technopolis, we are setting up a digital Media City project with your support and negotiations you help us to get from Korea. We are soon starting the designs of the Digital Media City, which will provide ready platforms for our creative sector. This will be the biggest center in the continent and will help our creatives to do much more than what's happening at the moment. Your Excellency, the stories and the impact these young people and the creative sector have shown us looks also we need to relook a few issues in our policy direction. One is to see what they are doing as creation of new products that our country can export. Not only are we going to be exporting the physical products, we are now going to export digital products. When we hear our creatives have earned money through their digital production creatives, that money has not only come from the country, but they have come from across the continent and even from the rest of the world. So it is a new thing for our country and a new growth area that we need to look at and work on. Secondly, Your Excellency, it is one of the areas that has biggest impact and reach. In our advertising strategy and policies, this is an area, Your Excellency, as you have directed us, we are going to look at it and how to leverage on this great potential to improve our reach when we are communicating to our communities, our people, our customers, and even as government, we propagate our policies. Your Excellency, we are also going to look at it, how we can use this great reach the young people and the creators have to brand our country and to market our country as a great investment and tourism destination. Your Excellency, I don't want to speak beyond that. It's my pleasure now to invite CS Soipan to make our remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, PS, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Excellency Governor of Nairobi, the Google and YouTube teams, PSs, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Your Excellency, I just want to congratulate these great people here from around the globe. You are the people that are challenging the conventional and the norm that, as we understand it, in terms of jobs and occupation. I have a 9-year-old daughter who tells me that she would like to become a YouTuber. And I have never gotten it, but today I get it. Listening to Ahome here and the gentleman from Canada, really, I think this is a very novel space that you have created. All I would like to say is that you really are influencers, right from our living rooms. I was just talking to Honorable Sakaja, and I think his sons might be in the same trajectory. So the challenge here is to influence positively. And you have the opportunity to do that because of the kind of following that you attract by the messaging and the creativity that you bring along, so that we have positive economic and social impact. Like the PS has said, we would like to see partnerships with the government to market our country. We would like to see partnerships from these teams with the government in efforts to combat the crisis that is climate change. You can create the content that will poke the conscience of the people that need to take action. And in that regard, the right action in order for us to have positive climate action. With those few remarks, let me invite His Excellency, the Governor of Nairobi, Johnson Sakaja, to make his remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Soipan. Your Excellency, President William Ruto, on all protocols observed, fellow content creators. Your Excellency, I've realized today that you and I have had an income stream that we've not developed. And these people are not our friends, Alex and Agnes and Charles. I joined TikTok a few months ago, and when I joined, I had 400,000 followers in a weekend. Twitter, I think, is 2 million thereabout. YouTube, our followers. I hang out with these people, Your Excellency, and I will tell on them. Agnes has never told me that I can actually make money from this, and neither has Charles. But fellow content creators, welcome to Nairobi. This is the best place for you to be for this, class of 2023. Nairobi is Africa's Silicon Savannah. We say that knowing there are Nigerians in the room, but we say that very bravely because this is the next frontier when it comes to the creative economy. Coincidentally, Your Excellency, in the morning I gave an example of how in Nigeria, the creative economy is the second biggest employer after, I think, agriculture, and that we have the potential. Another reason you're in the right place is you have the coolest president on the continent. He is a president who gets it. He is with it. And he has put commitments on the creative economy that I don't think any other leader, for sure not in Kenya, not in East Africa, and certainly not on this continent, has done in the 9 months that he's been president. He is very YouTuberable, if there's such a word. So when you still have a chance, you can grab some content from him, and he's very flexible. The things he has done, especially in the run-up to the elections, online, just shows us how receptive he is to this new frontier. Many of you might look at what you do in the narrow sense of selling your content, whether it is fashion, whether it is music, whether it is lifestyle or money. One thing many don't realize is that you hold a tool that for centuries was held by very few. And for decades, people lost their lives to get such a voice. And the traditional media no longer holds a franchise on the voice of the people. You hold it in your hands. The democratization of that, I think because of its availability, then becomes misused or disregarded. The power you have, not just to change your own economies, but to change society and to change the world, is immense. So Alex, you have a cohort of world changers here with you. And I'm very happy, Alex, that it's young, black, content creators from all over the world. Your Excellency, the first thing I did when I became governor of Nairobi, okay, not exactly fast, but one of the first things I did when I became governor of Nairobi was to lift a very archaic and colonial ban that had been placed in the city center of Nairobi, where creators were not allowed to take videos and photos. And they would be arrested by city council askaris. And I said, this is nonsense, it's archaic, it's colonial. I'll invite you one Sunday to drive down the streets of Nairobi, down the CBD. You'll find hundreds of young people taking videos, filming content, while being protected by the police instead of being arrested and uploading it online. And so, as we grow this, because one of the SDGs, Your Excellency, in September you'll be talking at the UN, the future of work. This is the future of work. It is true, I told Waziri when she said her daughter wants to be a YouTuber, I see my sons, I have two boys, 11 and 10 and 9. They grow so fast. They grow so fast. And the most amazing thing is when you watch them watching someone playing a game. And I don't understand it. So instead of them playing the game, I say, why don't you play the game? No, they're watching someone on YouTube playing. I don't think I'll ever get it. I will use YouTube for what I use it for. I still have a music video up on YouTube. I used to be a musician. But I never tell Kenyans what the stage name was, otherwise they will roast me. Now, as I close, for YouTube, Alex, we have issues. First of all, I don't get the same features I get when I'm outside Kenya on my YouTube Premium. Whether it is video in video, whether it is no ads, I don't get that when I'm here. Number two, I know it's emerging markets, but just listening to some of our biggest content creators in Nairobi, whether it is Butita, and all of them, yeah, my brother here, there are some things that we can do to create more value for them. Yeah, I've learned about the super stickers that they're not accessing. I don't know about other countries on the continent, but the super stickers, monetizing them, connecting with M-Pesa. In Kenya, because we are the fathers of mobile money, and that's why the adaptability of technology is high here, because the first technology we trusted ourselves with, or others with, was to transfer money. And so Kenyans will be very quick to send M-Pesa. And so when they can't do that and they need a bank account to support our creators, then they get bored and they move to the next thing. And so we'd want that connection, which is very easy to do for that adaptation. And I'm sure with support of our president, he'll tell Safaricom to get it done, and it'll be done, Of course, the PIN verification is very difficult through mail. It goes for too long for us. And of course, finally, the fact that many of them cannot aggregate their own content. I think if we change some of those things, and I'm glad that you're working on a lot of those, then the young people that I lead in Nairobi, that the president leads throughout this country, will then have opportunities to make more out of their talents. I was just telling him, because we are in the hustler nation, we call it hustlers, that there's no bigger hustler. And a hustler is not what you may think out there. A hustler is someone who goes for it every day and finds a way to earn a living properly. There are no greater hustlers than those who just sit, imagine, create something out of nothing and make money. You people are real, you're real hustlers. You know, if we can do these things and continue partnering, then, you know, we'll really have a great future for our country. Finally, Your Excellency, I have heard, and it's good when my friends are told on, that Agnes has supported the national government with Wi-Fi in institutions, and she has not supported Nairobi County government with connection to our markets and to our schools. Let us do the last mile. That is my ask, and I'm sure the President will support that. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, content creators, karibuni Nairobi. Welcome to Kenya. Welcome to Nairobi. And I'll ask you now to be upstanding as we receive His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya. Let's clap for him as he comes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Governor Sakaja. Please, let's take our seats. Thank you very much for your goodwill. Alex, Agnes, and the man who gave me instructions to hold this meeting, Mr. Charles. Leaders present here, YouTubers, great people from within and outside Kenya, good evening. On behalf of the people of Kenya and many friends, the people who enjoy YouTube and the content that you create, let me welcome you to Kenya on behalf of all of us. I hope you enjoy your time here while in Nairobi, and I look forward to another engagement with you. Over the past century, new regions emerged. As players in the world affairs, new nations were born, and there was an unprecedented population explosion. For a while, it seemed as though humanity was going to crash against the cliff of eternal crisis at a rate that was beyond all control, and it was predicted that international misunderstanding and conflict, as well as human suffering, were going to be the order of the day. Obviously, this view was biased on an old culture clash paradigm, which predicted constant friction among established civilizations as well as between dominant and emerging powers, primarily on the basis of culture differences, which could only accentuate conflict over resources, markets, and conflict over boundaries. In the second decade of the 21st century, the United Nations has 193 members, and the predominant condition throughout the world is peace. We have instances of trouble here and there, but largely the world is much more peaceful than any one of us expected. For the greatest measure, the nations and peoples of the world can be described as a global or international community. That's what we are. We have people here from Nigeria, we have people from Canada, and everywhere else. And as my good friend was saying, you meet people for the first time who you've never met, but because of technology, you know them, and you can relate to them. And you think you're meeting them a second time. How the idea of a single far-flung community, a human collective, defined by shared values, arose to retire the old gloomy predictions of worldwide chaos is actually the miracle of our time. Much of the credit for the fostering of human understanding across boundaries, continents, and oceans, which is the necessary condition for the emergence of a substantive global community, is the technology revolution based on global communication connectivity, which positively transformed the world and transformed it for good. In particular, the rise of the internet, which transformed the world into what we now all confess as a global village, because that's what it is. Every village has its public square. We all know that, with robust infrastructures to maximize interaction and exchange. There are market platforms for the exchange of goods and services and discursive forums for debate and expression. With the rise of information, entertainment, and education over time, the infrastructures of expression have become markets in their own right. In the village square, freedom reigns supreme. People have to enjoy the greatest freedom and opportunity to imagine, create, and express their ideas, to connect and collaborate, to exchange everything from goods and services to opportunity itself. In the global village square, information is both a vital service and a valuable commodity, facilitating trade and exchange, knowledge and ideas, partnerships and collaborations, creativity, and of course, innovation. The rise of the YouTube is both a driver and manifestation of this fundamental development. From the revolutionary online video sharing platform it was when it made its debut on the village square, YouTube now engages 2.5 billion viewers every month who consume more than 1 billion, as we were told by Agnes, and consume more than 1 billion hours of video daily. Operated mainly by individuals, YouTube is an extraordinary, prodigious platform offering music videos, news, video clips, short and feature films, songs, documentaries and trailers, live streams and vlogs, among others. In 2021, the platform generated US $29 billion in revenue. The users who upload more than 500 hours of content every minute earn a share of this revenue, the $29 billion I said. As a result, YouTube has become a major employer with many creatives finding more than decent livelihoods on it. Listen to my brother from Canada. He was basically saying that. He used to work as an accountant. Today, he makes money differently. By enabling content creators to monetize their channels and generate incomes through advertising revenue, brand partnerships, and merchandise sales, YouTube has empowered these individuals to become entrepreneurs by leveraging their content to build viable businesses, embrace innovation, and engage with an ecosystem of creative opportunities. And that is why we have men and women sitting in this room today, because they are who they are, because YouTube has given all of us an opportunity. The impact is considerable. Using the measure of 100,000 units of respective local currencies in revenue, we can witness what this intervention has achieved in Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa, just to mention a few countries. Year on year, the number of creators generating 100,000 plus monthly has risen by more than 15% in Nigeria, while in South Africa, the figure is double at 30%, and here in Kenya, 25%. The growth in the number of channels with more than 1 million subscribers is also impressive. Nigeria, more than 50%, South Africa, over 30%, and Kenya, as you trust, more than 110%. I see every reason why a managing director said they didn't find any problem locating this event in Kenya. I applaud YouTube for its endeavor to boldly confront the challenging cultural issues of the day. As a repository of the world's cultural heritage, it is the custodian of the global village record of contests, festivals, rites and ceremonies, traditions, music, dance, as well as many other traditions. This promotes easy cultural exchange as the content is accessible across cultures. It also showcases emerging creators whose work enriches the world's cultural output. Whatever it is that you're doing, good people, you're influencing the world. You're creating new culture. You're creating a new way of looking at things. And I am very happy that Google, YouTube are sensitive to make sure that it's all positive. Black and African contributions have defined and dominated art and culture throughout the history. And it is important not only that the fact of this influence is faithfully reflected, but also that global platforms are inclusive and fully represent the world's cultural diversity. I applaud YouTube's YouTube Black Voices Fund for investing in the expansion of opportunities to celebrate and promote Black art and creativity globally. Justice can only be said to be realized when artistic, creative, and expressive freedoms are enriched through deliberate affirmative interventions to correct historical imperfections in what we are calling the village market. Impressively, the YouTube Black Voices Fund invested US dollars 100 million into dedicated mechanisms to identify and develop Black creators and Black music on YouTube by facilitating their access to resources to develop their capacity. Listening to Wahome here, she made the point. She said the opportunity was made available through training, availability of resources, and the many other things that have been made available to our content creators. This includes the provision of partner manager, seed funding for YouTube channels and their development, as well as customized training, development, and networking to 378 creators globally from diverse professional backgrounds, including musicians, beauticians, entrepreneurs, comedians, activists, poets, personal trainers, parents, photographers, gamers, and more. This is highly commendable. YouTube, congratulations. As a country, we are proud that over 100 YouTubers from Nigeria, South Africa, Canada, the UK, and of course Kenya, are congregated in Nairobi, the host city of the global closing ceremony for the 2023 YouTube Black Voices Fund. All of you, welcome. I know, for example, that many of you have had to get visa to come to Kenya, but I have some good news for you. This may be the last time you are getting a visa to come to Kenya. Because Kenya is the cradle of humankind. This is where, and I'm talking as a scientist here, this is where the earliest remains of man have been traced. This is where the Turkana boy, the oldest ever traced human remains on Earth, not by magicians, but by scientists. And so, all of you, my good people from Nigeria, my in-laws, the good people from Canada, US, and the rest of the place, UK, South Africa, when you come to Kenya, you are coming home. So, we are looking at the law, we are looking at building consensus as Kenyans, so that because this is home, it's not fair to ask anybody for visa when they are going home. So, somebody seems to be agreeing with me there. Thank you very much. So, we welcome you to enjoy the magical delights, charming hospitality, and natural beauty of home, Kenya, as you witness for yourselves what YouTube is doing for our vibrant, creative, and digital economy, and contributing to our bottom-up agenda for economic transformation. Apart from YouTube Black Voices Fund, I appreciate with profound gratitude Google's support in enhancing the digital superhighway and creative economy pillar of our transformation agenda. In particular, I am grateful for your support for our plan to provide 25,000 free Wi-Fi hotspots across the country and the investment of $5 million to enable 90 government institutions like hospitals, and I hope some will be Nairobi, so that Sakaja is not complaining, courts of law and technical and vocational training institutions, install local area networks, and to connect them to the national fiber optic backbone infrastructure. So hopefully, let me say, when we discussed this earlier, it was work in progress. I am happy that we've now brought it home. I want to say thank you very much on behalf of the government of Kenya and the people of Kenya. And I want to assure you, as I do every other Kenyan, that we will put those resources and all the taxes we are collecting into very good use and make it possible for these great people and many others who are not here access the internet, be able to create content, be able to monetize their content, and be able to be entrepreneurs and earn a living out of what they are doing. Google's giant footprint in our digital and ICT infrastructure development are impressive and extend further to include Grow with Google, as Agnes said, which provides free training resources to enable individuals develop necessary digital skills to succeed in our digital economy. Hustler Academy and the famous week-long boot camp for small and medium enterprises, under which more than 1,000 graduated last year, with 1,500 currently being trained. And I want to encourage the Ministry of ICT to work with you so that we can expand the numbers, because we made it deliberate in our plan. Of the 5 points that we committed ourselves to as the people of Kenya when I ran for president, all the 5 are facilitated by technology and the digital space. From agriculture, we distributed fertilizer this year to 5 million farmers on a digital platform. In our MSME, today, they have access to credit on a digital platform. In a record, I think, 8 months, we have lent 30 billion Kenya shillings to 20 million Kenyans, and 7 million of them are daily users of our platform to access credit. We have digitized, now I will be launching the program end of this month. We have digitized 5,000 government services, because we are moving onto the digital platform, because we believe that around the digital platforms, you guys will have an opportunity with your digital expertise, being content creators, to help us advertise on that platform. And I have told the Ministry of ICT, the PS is here, that of the 300 billion we spend every year on advertising, 10% at least should go to local content creators. And I am talking of 30 billion Kenya shillings. So mujipange, you know, get yourselves ready, think big, think smart, and please get yourselves working so that even government can advertise on the space which you occupy, because that is the future of work, as was said by Governor Sakaja. Additionally, flexible online training programs which provide job-ready skills in high-growth career fields are being offered online. In this connection, we have provided 1,000 scholarships through the ICT Authority to support training in digital marketing, e-commerce, data analytics, IT support, project management, user experience design, and of course, the critical aspect of cyber security. This highly impactful partnership goes back all the way to 2018, when in collaboration with First Lady Rachel, as patron of the Google Impact Challenge, Google provided Kenya shillings 12 million to support the training of local creatives under the Creative Garage. Hiyo Creative Garage iko wapi? Hiyo workshop. I look back on the journey we have traveled with Google with tremendous pride and satisfaction, grateful for the immense opportunities our partnership has unlocked for many creatives in Kenya. Affirmed by this achievement, I also look forward to greater collaboration to catalyze the digital superhighway and creative economy pillar of our bottom-up economic transformation agenda. And by the way, of the 5 pillars that this administration is built on, one is the digital superhighway and the creative economy, which is the space you guys occupy. It was not by default. It was deliberate. It was intentional, because this is the future. I know many people, and Agnes has made a case, that we should go slow on the taxation around this area. And I don't disagree. But you guys are making money. Yeah? But anyway, tutaongea. I have told the committee in Parliament to have a chat with you, and I'm happy that you said you guys are happy to have a chat. We are willing to relax some of the issues. But you know, we are making huge investment in this space. And if this is the future of work, it is the future of where we are also going to get revenues to run government. Sindio? So we will continue to, because, Sasa, where am I going to get the money to do the digital superhighway? See, everybody must make a small contribution. Sindio? So I know, for example, we are reducing taxes on, especially taxes on digital content. We're reducing taxes on telephony. We are making it easier for you to transfer money from one corner to another. There are several interventions that we are making to make it easier for content creators, for people in the digital space, for people accessing the internet to do certain things. When we give you 2, 3 things and we ask for one, please be kind. Let me respond to Ahome, my good sister there. She said 2 things which are important. She said, number 1, we need to do more around digital devices. Ahome, I want to tell you that we already are in partnership, the government of Kenya, Safaricom, and the whole of that digital space. And I think in another couple of months, I don't know, I will need to ask Safaricom. They promised me that we will have a digital device, 5G enabled, that is going to be less than 5,000 Kenya shillings. So that you guys can be able to have devices that are priced fairly for you to be able to carry out what you have to do. That's number 1. Number 2, you did ask about our access to the internet and the cost of the internet. It is the reason why, deliberately, we are establishing 25,000 hotspots, precisely in every market in Kenya. You should be able to go to the market, access internet free of charge, do your thing, create content, monetize it, and drive the economy of our country from every corner of our republic. I quite agree with you We have a 3-year program, PS, is that correct? Yes, we have a 3-year program to make sure that we actualize this. We are already working in this year's budget. We are also working on another 1,450 digital hubs in every ward in Kenya. I remember I was talking about it earlier today. So that again, we can build the momentum around digital jobs and digital entrepreneurship like the one you guys are involved in. So that is our space, and you can count on me on this program. When good man, Mr. Mandevu here, told me that it's time to have this function, I said I will suspend many things to be able to be part of this exercise because of the tremendous value that you bring into this space, and because of the creativity around this space, and because of the opportunity that exists in this space, which we can see very clearly, at least I can see from where I sit, that this is the future. And therefore, you can count on the government of Kenya's support. I want to thank Agnes. I want to thank my brother Alex here. They have been immensely useful. They've worked with us. We appreciate all the support that we get from you guys. On behalf of the people of Kenya, I know we keep harassing you with new demands. Or maybe you should do this. Maybe we should do this. Maybe we should do more. But one that I promise that I'm ready to work with you is on how we are going to use the M-Pesa platform. We will talk with Safaricom so that it becomes a lot easier to monetize the contents of these people, especially those in Kenya. I know Kenyans really are looking, because of the credit card manenos, not many people have access to credit card, but everybody is on M-Pesa. And I want to promise you it is secure. And it is world class. If I may, it is better than credit card. So, because of the security it carries. In fact, it is on that same platform that in the last 7 months, we've been able to reach 20 million Kenyans with credit. It is a viable, realistic, practical platform. So, and I can vouch for it. So I hope we can be able to look at some of that. Putita had said something about it earlier, Huyu Mungwana. He has made a case on behalf of all the content creators and the online TV people in Kenya. And these good people have said it is work in progress. So asante sana, Alex, for agreeing to work with us in that space. Let me say this finally. We are having a very big debate in Kenya. And I'm very happy that we are having a big debate in Kenya. And the big debate in Kenya is about how we are going to raise money. This is very nice. At least we are discussing money. You know, we are not discussing those other things. We are not discussing who is coming from where, who is black, who is tall, who is fat, who is thin, who is what. We are discussing how we are going to monetize all the talents we have. This morning, I was having a meeting with our international champion, Faith Kipyegon, who broke the world record on 1,500 meters and broke another record within a week of 5,000 meters. She was here this morning, and we were discussing how we are going to monetize talent, how we are going to monetize enterprise, how we are going to monetize content. This is the debate we are having because, as president, we spend $5 billion every year as Kenya in educating our workforce. We spend $5 billion every year in education. It must concern us what becomes of the product of the $5 billion we invest every year when they finish school. We have 5 million young people in Kenya who today don't have a meaningful job. 800,000 young people get out of college, out of school, out of university every year. We need to have a deliberate plan on what they are going to do. After we have invested taxes, 5 billion every year, after they have invested their time, 18 years in school, we must, as a responsible society, be able to plan what they are going to do. We must create real, tangible opportunities, whether it is in the content creator space, whether it is in the enterprise space. That's why we have housing as a plan. That's why we have KIPES as a plan. That's why we have all the other plans, because we want to get value out of the investment we are making. And I am telling the people of Kenya, it will not be responsible if we say it is not our duty to be intentional or to be deliberate about what happens to the young people of our country when they come out of school. We must provide an avenue for them to monetize their talent, to monetize their education, to monetize their knowledge, to monetize their expertise, so that we can have a nation that is progressive and a nation that leaves nobody behind. So, to the good people from across the globe, welcome to Nairobi. Governor Sakaja is our boss in the city of Nairobi. He will organize the many things. He will tell you where to go in the evening, what to do. And if he doesn't look after you properly, please report him to me. I know what to do with him. So I am sure he will. Finally, let me say the following, that the tremendous potential showcased by YouTube and underscored by the impact of the YouTube Black Voices Fund similarly encouraged me in my firm conviction that Kenya, Africa, and the world are about to see an unprecedented explosion of creativity and productivity, leading to exponential growth of wealth creation and deeper understanding among the people of the world. We are happy that the journey has begun and that we are part of it. I declare the 2023 YouTube Black Voices officially closed. Thank you very much. God bless you, and my very best wishes.
A really warm round of applause for His Excellency one more time. Possibly a potential YouTuber and maybe your new influencer, Your Excellency. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, we've come to the end of this session, but there was one more request which would go a long way for these content creators, and that is just one photo which we have organized at VIP 2. So I'll request that we remain standing as we allow His Excellency to exit. Then we shall guide you on where the photo is going to be taken. With your permission, sir, we shall do that.